librarian with us this afternoon. So are the only libraries in the United States school libraries? Are those the only public libraries in the U.S.?
No.
So are there libraries that maybe municipalities, states, or counties also create in different states across the country?
I believe they're known as public libraries.
Right. So is there anything that prevents a student from going to a public library if they can't find a book they want to read in their school library?
Transportation would be the main one.
Okay, so if, are they allowed to go to a public library, or are students allowed to go to a public library or only school libraries if they have transportation?
That would be a parent decision.
Okay, are there other places where students or parents can get books? Maybe a bookstore, like a physical bookstore, like a Barnes & Noble bookstore?
Perhaps if they have the financial means.
Can parents buy books online, like from Amazon?
Perhaps if they have the financial means.
Can you go to a place like Goodwill and buy a book for less than $1 or maybe even get it for free?
Goodwill's selection is certainly not as expansive as those curated
Or
by
other
librarians.
bookstores. So what you're saying is there's more than one opportunity for a student or a parent to get a book to their kid's liking. It's not just, they're not only limited to public schools, they can get a book from a lot of different places, even a coffee shop if they wanted to, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned in your testimony earlier today about students having safe spaces to read. Is a classroom a safe space to read?
I believe that depends on the classroom.
Okay, what about school libraries? Are school libraries safe places to read?
I also think that depends on the individual library space.
Are kids safe to read when they're at home?
Not always.
Are most kids, we think, safe to read while they're at home?
I do not have the numbers to represent that
Okay.
answer.
And then I had some additional questions. If a student wanted to get an LGBTQ book that wasn't in a school library, could they get it at a public library? Would it be available in a public library?
If they had the transportation and means to get
But would a LGBTQ book be available in a public library?
Of course.
Okay, or a book of any other nature. And I don't have much time left.
In fact, I talk about this often on the campaign trail. The first hearing in the series that we've done on this particular committee, we had a few folks, witnesses in the educational space, a teacher, a librarian, and an activist, and I asked 3 specific questions, and one was, should superintendents of education have a say in their kids' education, yes or no? Couldn't answer the question, of course. My second question was, should school boards have a say in education of kids in schools? They couldn't answer the question, and so I asked if parents should have a say in their education.